There's no denying the COVID-19 pandemic has shaken up life as we know it. It's been a year of sink or swim if you want to avoid bankruptcy, and sadly there aren't enough life rafts for everyone. However, it hasn't been all doom and gloom for all industries. In fact, some new innovations have created new employment for many people. Humans by nature have a resilient and adaptable spirit, so if you need some inspiration, here are 15 ways that people have made money in the pandemic. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Number 1. Started a resale business. Reduce, reuse, and recycle are buzzwords of our generation, but some people have turned a profit doing the 3 Rs during the pandemic. While the world was feverishly decluttering during lockdown, others were buying up their secondhand goods on Craigslist or Gumtree. Then they just fixed them, cleaned them, and flipped them for a tidy profit on sites like eBay. Number 2. People started to monetize their hobbies. Mass layoffs and reduced time was inevitable, but not everyone saw it as the end of the line. For many, it was the push they needed to turn their hobby into a moneymaker. They opted to go with the flow that the universe had sent them on and see the end of the regular work routine as a blessing in disguise, the start of something new. Many turned their passions into cake-making businesses, carpentry companies, drone flyers, even looking to the skies to offer their skills to real estate agents and architects who need aerial photographs. The sky is literally the limit when you love what you're doing and need some income. Number 3. Part-time drivers are in high demand. Depending on what country you're in, you could have a very different experience to lockdown life. Countries like Italy and South Africa literally confined you to your own home for weeks on end. No public exercise, no gatherings, no eating out, no alcohol sales, nothing. It was puzzles and home-brewed pineapple beer for you. Enter the solution: delivery services for everything, from online shopping and takeout delivery to on-demand COVID tests at your door. The demand for part-time delivery drivers went through the roof. This at least gave people who lost their jobs but still had a vehicle an alternative income source during this strange time. Plus, they're providing a service that keeps people home and safe. Number 4. Teaching skills online. Seeing as most of us were home and had extra time, it was a great time to brush up on our skills or learn something new. This created a whole new market for online teaching. Even if dance instructors couldn't offer lessons in person, they could at least expand their reach by teaching online to anyone in the world. Same goes for cooking classes, calligraphy, or fitness training. There are no limits to what you can teach online. Meditation is another important skill that many people desperately need due to the stress of the pandemic. So we at Alux were able to offer our course on mind mastery to our followers. If you haven't tried it yet, you can find out more at Alux.com/mindmastery. Number 5. Peer-to-peer lending. We spoke about this unusual way to make money in our video, 10 ways to make money work for you. Since 2005, peer-to-peer lending has grown by 110% each year. So what is this phenomenon and how are people getting into it during the pandemic? Well, peer-to-peer lending, or P2P, is crowd lending or social lending, where groups or individuals lend other groups or individuals money. It's different from a financial institution because it's open to anyone to lend their money and earn interest on it. There are a ton of websites, each have different loan rates and amounts, clientele, what they're using the money for, and what makes lenders eligible. You're probably thinking this is totally risky, but it doesn't carry a lot more risk than buying shares with a big company. Generally, these arrangements earn you 5% interest on a less risky investment and up to 11.25% on a riskier one. So during lockdown, it's a great way to make any money you have work extra hard. You get to choose who to lend to, and you're a part of their success story by backing them and their business. It's a great initiative, and it's all about empowering business people, so we at Alux are all in favor. Number 6. Asset shopping has taken off. Investment advisors will tell you that in the greatest crisis is incredible opportunity to grow your wealth, and the COVID pandemic is no different. In most countries, people are losing their businesses, investment properties, and homes, and are forced to put them on the market. But for those with a little nest egg to spare, it's been a time to pick up new assets. It's really a buyer's market right now, as there's an excess of homes out there and a small group of people who are able to shop around for them. On top of that, interest rates are driven up right now, which also means lending is more affordable and a good way to bolster your asset portfolio for the future. Number 7. Virtual medical or psychology consultations. Most people are avoiding any medical facility like the plague because, well, there is literally a plague going around. So there's never been a better time for online medical consultations. Virtual consultations in most fields are popular, but with so many people taking mental strain and many of us having physical stress symptoms too, it's time for online doctors to shine. The best part is it also protects the medical professionals, especially those with underlying conditions like diabetes. Online, they don't need to put themselves at risk of exposure to COVID and can still offer the support we need. Number 8. E-commerce is a highly favored option. Turning your extra time into a passive income option is certainly most people's dream, but the pandemic pushed more people to embrace the e-store. In the world of e-commerce, you can sell sandals from the Philippines without ever having stepped foot on her shores. Or you could snap some great pictures, upload them to a stock images website, and start earning royalties from them within hours without any history of photography. This is exactly what many people started doing during the pandemic. With more people spending more time off the streets and in front of screens, it's become a hot pastime to mooch around online malls and oogle Instagram accounts that push you to online stores and purchases. Software, apps, personal services, or products, there are so many ways to jump onto the sales funnel that is the World Wide Web. Number 9. Live streaming. By now, we're all pretty used to the idea that big stadium concerts are on hold for the indefinite future. But that doesn't mean you have to forego seeing the biggest stars in concert. Sure, you won't have the joy of overpriced beer being spilled on you as you're jostled around through the crowd with your feet off the ground, but you do get 9 camera angles in HD to enjoy the show, and you don't even have to put on makeup or pay Uber surge rates. Live streaming isn't just reserved for performance art, though. Small businesses have also ridden out the storm with virtual sales. For example, tucked away on the main street of Crown Point, Indiana, a city with a population of just 23,000, is Moriarty Gem Art. You wouldn't think these would be virtual ballers, but as early as 2019, they had already tabled the idea to live stream a gem show in their mostly family staff meetings. Until COVID lockdown, they really hadn't had time to get it off the ground, but because of the lockdown, they had to shut up their shop in March, so they had no choice but to live stream. On July 8th, their live stream show raised $12,000 in sales, while another show ended with the sale of a Tanzanite stone to a customer in Singapore at a value of $20,000. Moriarty Gem Art is proving there are many ways to cut a diamond. Number 10. Podcasts have taken off. Now is the second coming of the success of the podcast. If we thought all ears were on podcasts when Serial was released, COVID has made podcasts a daily part of everyone's diet. When you can't possibly watch another video but you're just too darn lonely to wash the dishes without a narrative, the podcast is the salve of the soul. Startups have leveraged the popularity of podcasts to bring new customers on board through a broader audience. Advertisers are also flocking to the medium to peddle their wares of easy-to-install home security, online linens, and monthly tooth care subscriptions. Number 11. Online tutoring took off. One of the greatest fears after actually contracting the virus has been how to educate and entertain our children during this new normal. Enter the Zooter. When your kids are flunking out and swinging from chandeliers, a qualified educator can offer distance learning through Zoom. These Zoom tutors were the brainchild of Elisa Katz, who branded her company the Zooter Concierge and helps match families with educators. And voila, less conflict trying to get your kids to learn, and a little time to get some work done or take a shower while they take an online class. Number 12. Undertakers and funeral services. Sadly, one of the main fallouts of COVID has been an increase in mortality rates in many places. The unexpected influx has meant that funeral homes and undertakers have had their work cut out for them, and this has also led to an increase in all supporting services, like floristry and care packages. Number 13. Drive-in cinema experiences became popular again. Any entertainment that can take you out of the house without bringing you into close proximity with others has been a surefire win during the pandemic. One of those is the unexpected return of drive-in movies. This time, the biggest draw card wasn't the old-timey appeal, but rather the absence of life-threatening virus exposure that it offers. And globally, couples, friends, and families are flocking to drive-ins in droves just for an opportunity to get out of the house and escape the sameness of living in lockdown. Number 14. Anybody going into the sanitizing business? Who knew the biggest fragrance of 2020 would be 70% alcohol spray? Anyone in the sanitizer game or offering services to clean and sanitize the building environment is in the pound seat now. It's a wonder hand sanitizer companies managed to keep up with the demand, which might explain why there have been so many recalls. It's gone from something more commonly used by medical care workers to a product sprayed on all of us consistently all day long. Now, the alcohol alternative sanitizers are having a heyday as we all suffer the struggles of dry hands and chapped skin from overuse of the liquor-laced stuff. Anything that is gentler on the hands is still untapped in many countries and a good business to go into. Number 15. Farmers are doing well, but it's bittersweet. One thing we haven't stopped doing during the pandemic is eating. We've all fought the virus, but certainly not many of us have fought the bulge. One of the upsides of this is many of us have had the time to cook from scratch, prepare healthier meals, and boost our immune systems a bit. This has had a knock-on effect for the farmers supplying all the produce we've been consuming while locked in at home. For most of the farmers, the success is bittersweet as they look around at many companies battling and closing. But as the famous saying goes, this too shall pass. So, Aluxers, what businesses have you seen flourish during the pandemic? We value your input in the comments section below. And as always, we appreciate you sticking with us until the end, so we've compiled a few suggestions you could try if you're needing to make a bit extra cash. These can all be done from the words we've all grown used to, the comfort of your own home. Become an audiobook narrator, type movie subtitles, become a copywriter, manage social media accounts. Stay strong, Aluxers. We're all in this together. Don't forget to subscribe for more inspirational videos, and as always, we appreciate your thumbs up.